Hey everyone, welcome back to another video for Simi Sarah. Today we have one that is inspired from a YouTube clip that I saw about tiny homes. So I will go ahead and link the video that I found this tiny home on in the description, and I think it's going to be part of my a new series that I'm going to start. So yes, it's still a speed build, but since I love watching a lot of YouTube videos, specifically like tiny homes or trailers typically, I thought that maybe I could start a new series about like me trying to recreate it to the best of my ability in The Sims. And of course, like maybe adding my own touch here or there on certain parts of it. You'll notice that if you do end up watching the video that I post, that the back shed doesn't look the same. And of course, like they have a closet, and since we don't use closets for clothes here in The Sims, or I guess at least not a single tile, I decided to forego that upstairs, and you'll get to it eventually. But anyways, the exterior here is really modern and sleek, black mostly, with once eventually the wallpaper. You got that wood front look, and then kind of a concrete look elsewhere. One thing I do end up doing is this tiny home was on YouTube built in a more, I would say, like deserty space. So in the middle of the video, you'll kind of notice that I have a pause and that I come back to this build. And the reason I do that is because I actually pick it up and move it back into a different city that more fits the culture or the environmental environment that you see on like the YouTube video. So it has more of the deserty vibe, because when I was doing the landscape that and trying to like copy it from the YouTube clip, I just realized like this is not working with this like bright green grass, and it's supposed to be this deserty area. So out here in the back, I've got this really cool pergola that I'm building using like fence, and then deleting the ceiling tiles. I end up going with that really thin piece instead of the thicker piece, mostly because I think it gives a more modern take instead of the other version. Also, here I initially used concrete down the middle, but I decided that I really liked this textured look. I think it added a little bit more dimension to the front of the space instead of just going with all a single texture. That's a really cool thing about The Sims 4 that I feel like, Sims 4 has been out for 7 years, and at the beginning the textures were very plain, and now they've just come a really long way. And especially like the couches, the different textures on there. So yeah, here you can kind of notice that I switched the seasons so that we could see the plants a little bit better. I did end up having, the only reason I had to switch seasons is because I ended up having to build with a sim placed in the slot. This was my first build since downloading the Better Build By and Tool Mod. So I had a couple of glitches that I had to work around, but I loved it. I love being able to use an organized debug. So helpful, such a time saver, and the more I get to know it, the more time I'm going to save, and just like be able to add creative ideas. So one of the glitches I experienced was that I had to like have a sim placed at the lot to build. I did look it up online, and I realized that quite a few other people had it as well, and so I'm working on some workarounds with it. One of the other glitches that I had was I had to continuously like type in the move objects cheat, and so that was like really annoying to do, but that's okay. Another workaround, which I plan to fix and hopefully, yeah, be able to create more seamlessly. So back to the textures that I was talking about, you kind of noticed that I was fiddling around with the couches. I really wanted to use this base game one that was pretty simple, but the texture is like zero. There's just no, it just looks like, I don't know, like a concrete block or like a cartoon almost compared to the rest of the graphics in The Sims 4. And so I just ended up not being able to use it because I just wasn't satisfied with that look. So I went with this other couch that has like pillows and just a little bit more 3D-ness to it, I guess. The kitchen, I love this has got to be like my favorite tile in the game slash like wallpaper. I really love that. how the bottom half is like the tile and then the top half is like just matches to the wall. I also love this like pink accent wall that I created. Like I said, I try to copy as much as I could from the YouTube video, and in the YouTube video they actually use like this rabbit pink wallpaper. So I tried to use the cottage living wallpaper, but it wasn't fitting the space, especially because this is a very modern tiny home, and yeah, so I went with this pink. I love it, modern, sleek, and it still had like that pink rabbit vibe that the YouTube video had. I come down to this space and fiddle around quite a lot. I was just not quite happy with the TV. In the home that it was inspired on, their TV was able to like be pulled off the wall, so that it goes directly in front of the couch. And since in The Sims that's not possible, I was like trying to figure out how I could get the TV to fit right in front of the couch, but it wasn't working. So here was this dramatic change that I was talking about. I made it light outside, and I moved it to the more deserty feel city, and I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. I'll have to remember it. I'm sure I know what it is, but it's escaping my memory right now. So I just moved it there to make it so it actually fit a little bit better. And I go outside and do a whole bunch of landscaping to make the home feel like it fits a little bit better with the neighborhood. One thing that I would highly suggest if you're a builder is to use plants that fit with the surroundings. So I constantly was looking around the surrounding, like the outside of the lot, and seeing what plants and flowers they used, and I kind of copied that into like the lot so that it kind of flowed a little bit more elegantly, and that kind of helps you keep you on like track of what you need to see outside in order for it to fit well into the neighborhood. And it also just kind of tells you what plants to use to fit like the theme. I guess I already said that, but yeah, anyways. So I end up going back inside, and I realized this part that I didn't watch the whole YouTube video, and I was stumped on how like they made it so that it connected to that like back room. And once I finished the YouTube video, I realized it wasn't connected to the house from the inside at all. In fact, it was only accessible from outside, and in the YouTube video they used that outside thing as a washer dryer. I would never. And just to recap, in the YouTube video, this tiny home is an Airbnb, meaning that people can go to it and rent it out for like a vacation. And I was thinking, like, why would the washer and dryer only be accessible from the outside, especially with the bedroom being upstairs? I just was thinking that was a lot of like it just didn't seem very like flowy or practical. So what I ended up doing is putting the washer and dryer into the bathroom. I thought it made a lot more sense since the bathroom was much larger than a much larger space than the version I went off of. So I put it into the corner, and I get all the washer and dryer inside. You'll see what I used the outside closet for. I thought it turned out really nice. And I even have a little one tile inside closet as well, since the tiny home had that, the real tiny home had that. So what I end up doing in there is just kind of putting more like aesthetic stuff, such as like the mop and the bucket type thing. So kind of a practical thing. So it's not usable for the sim, but it kind of fit the space well, and it makes sense, like practically. So yeah, I was overall happy that I had that closet, because it created the perfect spot for the washer and dryer and things like that. But you know, if you're looking for maybe a thing to actually use for the gameplay, you could probably replace that or even get rid of that closet pretty easily. But I love my kitchen. I end up going back and cluttering it up more. But this is the first room where I spend a lot of time using debug items and kind of fiddling around and seeing what I can do in terms of getting some unique items from there. So I find a toothbrush to kind of create the toothbrush holder feeling of like somebody not putting their toothbrush back away. I put in some makeup, which I thought was like a nice thing to have I put like sunscreen over in that cabinet to the left, especially with the deserty feel, and it's a vacation home. You know, you need some spaces to like store stuff. So yeah, I get that in there. Um, yeah. So uh, as mentioned, I come back to this space. I do end up settling for a debug TV, the one from the Eco Lifestyle that you can create if you fabricate items. And I put it up on a shelf so that it kind of fits nicer. So yeah, this is about to go, all of this work, but that's all right. I like the debug TV a lot. It gives me like 70s feeling. So yeah, you'll notice that I put the remote in there. I took a little time to find that. If you're wondering, okay, if you used Organized Debug and you're just starting, the remote is actually under not clutter, but appliances. So that kind of threw me off because I thought it would just be under like a decoration thing. But yeah, so here's that makeup I was talking about, and the eyeliner, and the eyeshadow, and a toothbrush, nice and simple, and a plunger, a good old plunger, very practical for a home. So here's that debug TV I was talking about. I put up some new curtains. I'm just so thankful that with that refresh that we got a whole bunch of new swatches for the curtains. I know I've mentioned in previous builds how curtains could really use like an update. I talked about how it would be so cool to be able to expand them like a wall, meaning expand them up and down, and like so the height of the curtains themselves, and then like pulling them up and down, and then also the width of them so that I could make it really skinny for a skinny window or really large for a larger window, so that I could use basically any curtain for any window. And then I also talked about how like the swatches just were not it, and yay, I'm just so thrilled to be able to say that they updated the swatches. What that means is I've got so many more colors available to me with the curtains, and I know lots of sim builders are excited about that because, to be honest, the curtains were a pain in the tuscus to like make it match the theme sometimes. In the corner here, I get all of these items from Debug and I clutter it up. Um, I even found this like cute little candy jar right here. That's actually not in Debug, that's in regular play, and I can't even remember. I think that's from Movie Pack, but yeah. I also purposely grabbed the little salt, pepper, and shaker right there that I put next to the spoon. Yes, we do have a salt and pepper shaker with the Cool Kitchen pack, but I really thought like this is a tiny home, so we're not going to have like giant salt and pepper containers. So I thought those debug items kind of fit really well into this environment. Yeah. So up there, I also add in a couple new ones from Country Kitchen, like clutter items from Country Kitchen, and I just kind of, yeah, like coffee beans. I was gonna put a coffee machine, but those just take up so much space, so I end up leaving it out. Uh, let's see. I do remember to add a garbage can. I'm very much into adding garbage cans into all my builds. You have to have that as a simmer. So yeah, I make sure to have a garbage can in both the bathroom and in the kitchen. And then I add a rug into the space to make it a little more cozy. Before I end up heading upstairs and working on that wall that leads up the stairs, um, that wall that leading up the stairs, the YouTube video, like I thought I perfectly recreated like the picture collage that they had um in the tiny home, and I was really like excited about like seeing some of those similar picture frames and just like how they like cluttered it up all the way up. So I was really excited about that. So like right here you'll see me adding from like Movie Pack. I add some, this one's from Paranormal Activity Pack, and it just like perfectly goes up the stairs. It was definitely meant for that. Like the EA team definitely purposely did that. Sorry, if you hear a little squeaking, my baby is waking up. I'm wearing him right now so that I can do a voiceover and he can sleep. So, working mommy who wants to have some hobbies, but also have a little guy to take care of. But anyways, upstairs is the like loft style bedroom. It is a double bed, perfect for two Sims, and it just is a really nice space to kind of complement the rest of the house in terms of using the space wisely, getting a mirror in there, um, getting a little seat in there as well, whether it's just for like relaxing or like putting on shoes or whatever, or piling all the extra clothes. I feel like everyone has one of those chairs in their bedroom that just ends up with all these like extra clothing items that weren't dirty but not clean enough to put back into drawers. So I can't be the only one who has that. I know other people do. I know my sister always had one of those too. So, yeah. I add in a beautiful picture that really fills up that big wall in the back there, and some rugs. I actually combined two rugs to create like a one big rug. I kind of wanted this like woven mat that kind of matched the video in YouTube for the room. So I did it by using two rugs, and I know it doesn't like look perfect, but I thought it was better than leaving it with a odd shaped rug that didn't fit. So you might see a little overlap there, but I think it's worth it. Next, I add in actually two round end tables. You'll see me replace it here, and get some lighting up in here to make it a little bit more bright and flashy. And I add a plant in the corner over up against the wall by the stairs. I run back downstairs when I remember this lighting thing, put my remote on top of it. Yeah, I really had fun with the debug items. I try to get the lamps and everything to the correct size before I actually then like head back outside once more to kind of finish up the back patio. So the back patio, I used a little bit of what they had in the video, but to be honest, they did not have good landscaping or like furniture in the back at all. So I kind of created my own idea. So that bench upstairs is from, like I did copy that to the, with the best sim item. The picnic table also copied, and that was it. That's all they had outside. So I really thought like this has got to be a nice patio. So I added like cute little chairs to sit. I add a grill and like a lighter for the grill because I wanted it to be like usable space for your Sims where they could come outside and cook and different things. I use another one of those really cool table trays. This one with a tea set. I thought that was perfect for outside, thinking that maybe you would bring out some tea or a beverage to like drink and enjoy like the sunrise or sunset depending on the time of day. So yeah, one thing that I'm really big about is lighting for a house. I was taught from an actual landscape designer that people tend to underuse lighting on their houses, and lighting can just really make a huge difference in the beauty of a home, like the exterior of it. So highly recommend taking the time to add lighting outside of your homes, your real homes or your sim homes, to just set off like the beauty of it. So I really worked hard on getting lots of lighting out there. I always test it in the dark to try to get that lighting to be perfect. So here's that closet I was talking about outside that they had the washer and dryer in. I just don't get it. I can't get over it. But maybe there's a reason. Like maybe because they're in the desert, there must be like some sort of reason behind it. But I go ahead and clutter it up with items that you might find in a garage, and also the garbage can, so that the garbage can is kind of like hidden and not right in the open. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. I love it. I'm just wrapping up that last closet that I talked about. I will add a bookshelf into the living room, and that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching another Simi Sarah video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more. And we hope to see you at another one of Simi Sarah's videos. Thanks, bye.